Dillon Gabriel's quick clarification, saying there's entertainers and there's competitors, was aimed at the media, not at Shedeur Sanders, was necessary. But the whole episode still tells you a lot about how combustible this Browns quarterback room has become and how little margin for misinterpretation these players have right now. First, the reality on the ground. This is an oversaturated, high-attention competition. 4 QBs, a veteran brought in to start, 2 rookies the team has invested in, and the unique storyline around Shedeur, his draft slide, national profile, celebrity attention, create constant external noise. In that environment, any offhand remark from any player is going to be morphed quickly. Gabriel's initial comment, short, pointed, slightly theatrical, was basically a micro moment of emotional compression. He was answering a question about tuning out noise and naturally framed himself as a competitor. That's a perfectly normal stance. But the quote's sweep and the media ecosystem's hunger for drama turned it into a potential dig at Sanders, whether Gabriel meant it that way or not. Why that matters. Perception drives narratives in training camp and preseason, and narratives seed roster pressure. Coaches watch body language, teammates react, media amplifies. If Gabriel were trying to position himself as the professional counterpoint to Sanders' celebrity-fueled attention, even subtly, that matters to the clubhouse chemistry. It matters to evaluators trying to parse who will take on the backup or developmental mantle. And it matters to fans, those on social media who are hungry to defend or denigrate any player who threatens their preferred storyline. There are 3 practical implications to unpack. 1, this increases the premium on internal clarity. The Browns coaching staff should treat this like a teachable moment. Public-facing soundbites are inevitable, but internal alignment must be enforced. Coaches need to make sure every quarterback knows the value of succinct, team-first answers after practice and games. That doesn't mean sanitizing players into parrots. Authenticity matters. But it does mean reminding them that words get weaponized. Kevin Stefanski and the front office will be far better off if they shape the narrative by highlighting specific performance metrics and clearly articulated development plans, rather than letting media soundbites define the storyline. 2, Gabriel's intent matters less than the optics. Even though reporters who were present supported Gabriel's clarification, the clip circulated in the kind of vacuum that favors conspiracy. The Browns should expedite controlled messaging, acknowledge the clarification, emphasize respect among competitors, and pivot attention back to tape and reps. For Gabriel specifically, the smart play is what he did. Clarify calmly, refocus on preparation, and let performance answer the noise. For Sanders, the best response is silence plus steady work. He benefits from demonstrating steadiness rather than getting pulled into petty sparring. 3, the roster calculus is unchanged, but more emotionally charged. Pickett, Gabriel, Sanders, and Flacco occupy overlapping roles and varying levels of organizational investment. Every off-field flashpoint, real or manufactured, can nudge the front office calculus when 2 players are otherwise similar. If Gabriel's comment had been sustained or escalated, it might undermine his standing. As is, it's a momentary distraction that the Browns can neutralize by sticking to objective evaluation. Who makes the right reads under pressure, who limits turnovers, who handles 2-minute and red zone situations, who shows progression in film study and leadership in meetings. That's the only defensible way to make the call. Looking ahead, what should each actor do? Gabriel should keep his emphasis on competition, but lean harder into team-first language in public. He's a 3rd-round pick with more draft capital behind him than Sanders. That affords him some runway, but not unlimited patience. Strong, consistent play in joint practices and the remaining preseason snaps will settle many debates far faster than sound bites. Shedeur Sanders should maintain the posture he's shown, confident, focused, and careful not to amplify the drama. His preseason debut gave him currency, but injuries and limited reps mean he needs to be clinical about every interaction. Let the tape speak. For a rookie with massive external attention, restraint is often the wisest PR play. Coaching/staff should publicly downplay the drama and internally emphasize fairness. If the Browns treat every media-created controversy as a crisis, they'll lose focus. Put the emphasis on specific performance criteria and timelines. What will it take for a QB to be QB2? What milestones do the rookies have to hit? And how will reps be allocated over the next 2 weeks? Clear guardrails, reduce gossip, and give players a roadmap. Finally, long term, the Browns need to accept a truth common to every crowded QB room. Only game reps and regular season performance remove doubt. The media will always be an entertainer machine, clips, hot takes, and narratives, but NFL evaluation should be less about the noise and more about measurable progress. Gabriel's comment, whether flippant or pointed, is a symptom of an environment the franchise created by loading the room with talent and storylines. The best fix isn't policing every remark, it's giving everyone clear chances, weighing tape over tweets, and making decisions that prioritize roster construction and winning football over media optics. Dillon Gabriel insists his "there's entertainers and there's competitors" comment wasn't a swipe at Shedeur Sanders. Cleveland. Dillon Gabriel clarified Saturday that a remark many thought was aimed at Browns teammate Shedeur Sanders was actually directed at the media, not at the rookie quarterback. Gabriel made the brief comment during a sideline interview after his preseason appearance against the Philadelphia Eagles. Asked by a DT Kinkabwala how he tunes out outside noise, Gabriel responded, "There's entertainers and there's competitors, and I totally understand that. But my job is to compete, and that's what I'm focused on." The exchange, clipped and circulated on social platforms, prompted immediate speculation that Gabriel, a third-round pick fighting for a roster spot, was taking a shot at Sanders, who burst onto the scene last week with a 14 for 23, 138-yard, two-touchdown preseason debut. Sanders' sudden rise and outsized media attention have been a constant storyline in Cleveland this summer. Afterward, Gabriel insisted publicly he was referring to media coverage when he used the word entertainers. Multiple reporters backed up that interpretation and criticized the league's social channels for sharing the remark out of context. Kinkabwala also posted about the interaction, explaining she had intended to discuss handling media distractions and not to provoke controversy between players. "There was no malice in it," Gabriel said. "I'm all about my team and each other. Entertainers are you all. A competitor, that's what I am, along with all my teammates. We both have jobs to do." The comment and its aftermath highlight how heightened scrutiny around the Browns' crowded quarterback room can turn routine media moments into flashpoints. Cleveland still has Joe Flacco as the veteran frontrunner, with Pickett, Gabriel, and Sanders all vying for meaningful roles behind him. Gabriel's clarification likely calmed coaches and teammates nervous about locker room tension, but the clip will probably get picked apart during the coming week's practices. Exactly the kind of entertaining reaction he said he didn't intend to provoke.